Yo, what's going on, everyone? I am Mr. Foamer Simpson. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now, today, what is the date? Today is the 27th. 2016 is winding down. I have no idea where the time went. I feel like it was just January and now the year is about to be over. End of the year. That is list season. It's list time. Favorite sneakers of the year, worst sneakers of the year. You know how it goes. You look back at the year, the good, the bad, the ugly, the expensive. We all know how expensive sneakers are. It's a question I get all the time is money related stuff because sneakers is such an expensive hobby. We all know that. Recently, my friends over at StockX, they did the top 10 most expensive sneakers of the year based on resale values. And StockX is really good at that kind of stuff. They crunch all the numbers and break it all down and track all the sales. And it's actually really cool to have access to that type of data and information. So what I want to do is I just want to run down the list really quick and kind of talk about each sneaker, give my thoughts. You guys can leave comments, of course, and we can kind of have a little conversation about it. I think, of course, with the lists, you have favorite sneakers, and you have kind of the cookie cutter ones that we kind of all do each year. But the expensive one, it's not something I've talked about much before, and I was just very interested in that and very interested in the numbers and how crazy some of them are. So without further ado, let's jump right into the list at number 10. Number 10 is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 Pirate Black, $1,264. It's a lot of money. I did try to get a pair of these. I really like the 350, much more so than the 750. And with the Pirate Black, I think you're getting a sneaker that you can, wear with pretty much anything. It's not a crazy sneaker. So at least if you do pay that price, you can get a lot of wear out of it. Having said that, way too much. That's out of my price range, especially for that sneaker. Number 9 is the Bape Adidas NMD, $1,309. It's a beautiful sneaker. For those of you who didn't see my top 10 favorite sneakers of 2016 list, those were at the very top of the list. Those were number 2. That's how much I like them. I really like the NMD. I thought this was by far the best NMD of the year. It's still out of my price range, but if money was no object and I did have all kinds of money, I probably would pay it just because it's that dope of a sneaker. But my money's not long enough for those kind of purchases right now, so I'll have to hunt them and catch them when I catch them. You guys know what I always say, patience saves pockets. Number 8 is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 750 Glow in the Dark, $1,565. That's a no way Jose for me. The 750, although I appreciate the model in that it's different and kind of a little bit outlandish in a sense, it's not a sneaker that I would ever pay over retail for. It's not a sneaker that I end up wearing. I think the 350, like I said, is much better because it's much more wearable. Again, it depends on your styles and stuff like that, but this is not a sneaker that I would pay a dime over retail for. Number 7 is the Adidas 3D Runner, $1,601. It's crazy to me that the first 4 sneakers on the list are all Adidas. I think that just proves the point that Adidas had a hell of a year. Retail on this sneaker was $333, which is an extremely high retail. I mean, it's a pretty high price point. Personally, again, I don't think I'd pay over retail for the sneaker. It looks cool. I love what Adidas is doing, but again, not a sneaker I would ever pay resale for. Number 6 is the Jordan 1 Satin, $1,955. Almost $2,000. It's a lot of money. I'd love this sneaker though. This sneaker, I mean, I love the Jordan 1. I love the black and red colorway. And the fact that they just gave it the super luxurious treatment, I just think they executed it perfectly. And this is another sneaker that was on my top 10 favorites of 2016 list. I just think it's a phenomenal sneaker. Again, this is a sneaker I would pay resale for, not $2,000. I mean, I just don't have that type of money where I'm comfortable spending that on a shoe, but I would definitely pay a pretty penny for them, just not that much. Number 5 is the Adidas NMD Red Apple, $2,327. Wow. Now we are getting into the crazy prices. I will say one thing though, it's a really dope sneaker, but it's also a shoe that you can wear a lot. And for me, that's important. If I'm gonna pay resale on a sneaker, I don't want to just put it in a glass case. I want to wear it. I want to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. And I think with an NMD, and especially with this colorway, you could definitely do that. Like when I got the Jordan 1 Jeters, I think I paid $400 for them or $450. I don't know. It was way more than I wanted to spend on them. But I wore them for like 3 or 4 weeks straight and absolutely beat the crap out of them because I wanted to feel like I was getting my money's worth. I don't know, that's just me. Number 4 is the Adidas NMD Pitch Black, $2,972. Wow, for an NMD. It's a dope sneaker. There was only 500 pairs and they weren't for sale. Adidas just basically sent them out to the homies. It's a cool shoe. I do like it. I think the Bapes are way better. I think the Red Apples are way better. And I think there was also some other just more regular releases that were much better too. So it just kind of goes to show you that, you know, when you keep that number limited, when you keep stuff friends and family and just the supply and demand thing, you know, that's, you know, no matter what you're talking about, that supply and demand is always a thing. So you keep them limited and, you know, people want them, especially with what Adidas is doing. So not something I would pay, but more power to Adidas. Number 3 is the Nike Hyper Adapt, $3,528. A lot of money. Now this was technically the most expensive sneaker of the year if you're just looking at retail. Obviously we're looking at the resale value, but these were $720. I remember when pictures first surfaced, people were saying they were like $1,000, but retail was $720. I do think it is a really neat sneaker, for lack of a better word, you know, with the whole self-lacing thing. But for $720, I'll lace my own shoes, and for $3,500, forget about it. I want absolutely no parts of that. I'll tell you what though, if I had a pair of these, maybe I will get a pair. If I had a pair of these, I would hoop in them. I would want to see what it was like to play ball in them. Should I do a performance review on the Nike Hyper Adapt? Let me know. Number 2 is the Adidas Pharrell Human Race NMD Friends and Family, $7,535. If we were at the crazy prices before, this is like absurd almost. And it's funny that it's on the Human Race joints because I think personally that is the most overrated sneaker of the year. I really like what Adidas is doing. I love Adidas, but the Human Race, the laces, I'm not into them. You know, it's almost like Tom Hanks on Castaway. Like he found, you know, some lace, you know, in a package floating in the ocean and like wrapped it around, you know, some rawhide and like made a sneaker. Like, I don't know, I'm just not really into it. I do really like this colorway. Burgundy's my favorite color. So the colorway is money, but over $7,000 for these, whoa, just whoa. Number 1, and I'm sure a lot of you probably already know what this is because it's pretty obvious, but number 1 is the Nike Mag, $28,638. And there was pairs that I saw go for like $80,000, 100. Like, it's just, I mean, I don't know what the cheapest pair went for, but that's a, I mean, I was going to say a down payment on a house. That's even more than a down payment on a house. You could go buy a super nice car in cash with that kind of money. To me, obviously it's a really cool shoe. It's not a shoe I would ever wear. I think they look kind of goofy on feet personally, but it's a collector shoe. You know, this is one of those shoes that you get and you put them in a glass case. And if you had that kind of bread, and if you were really into Back to the Future, and but I mean, that price is that's beyond steep. If I would have won a pair of these, no questions asked, I would have sold those immediately, because there's no way I would put a sneaker that valuable on my foot, and I'm not really into just displaying shoes, so it would have really served me no purpose. So, but that's just me. And there you have it, the 10 most expensive sneakers of 2016. Shouts to StockX. Thought this was a really, really cool thing for them to put together at the end of the year. I was very interested in it. Hopefully you guys are too. I know I get money questions all the time. What did we learn from this list though? Adidas absolutely killed it. Nike is still Nike. Nike is still top dog. And people spend an insane amount of money on sneakers. I mean, even at retail, sneakers are a lot of money. But when you start getting into the resale prices, that's a whole nother ball game. I mean, that's like beyond expensive. I think, I don't know, for me, I'd say right now, $500 is about my limit as far as what I would pay for resale. It might change a little bit depending on what retail on the sneaker was, but $500, that's about what I'm comfortable spending on a shoe and wearing. And of course, I wouldn't do that all the time, but if I really, really, really wanted a sneaker, I'd pay that. Any more than that, and I'm not gonna be comfortable wearing it. If I spend $1,200 on a sneaker, then I'm not gonna wanna wear it. 500 is that area where I'm still okay, wearing them and beating the crap out of them. Let me know, leave a comment below. I'm really, really curious about this actually. What is the most you have spent on a sneaker, or what is the most you would spend on a sneaker? Like, what is your limit? Like, you're absolutely top of the line, won't go any higher than that no matter what the shoe is. Leave a comment below and let me know. Always love to hear from you. Not too much else for right now. Thank you for watching. You are appreciated. More videos on the way, so stay tuned. In the meantime, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Foamer Simpson. You can also check me out on Snapchat at It's Foamie. That's where I do all behind the scenes stuff, early looks and everything like that. So I'll put those links in the description. Until next time, Mr. Foamer Simpson, I'm out. If you like sneakers and dope shit, subscribe to the channel. We do at least 3 videos a week. You won't be disappointed.